At functions, different types of elementary functions, and we had looked at only one type of function, that is polynomial functions, and this actually can be denoted by pz, which is a function of z, and it's in the polynomial form. And if it's like this, then we call it nth degree polynomial. And suppose n is equal to 1, then this obviously becomes w is equal to az plus b. Of this form it becomes actually, so a naught z plus an, which can be written as az plus b. So in this case it's called a linear transformation. So this is a linear transformation. And we are familiar with this. Then we come to the second type, that is a rational algebraic function. It is a rational algebraic function, and it is like this. If w is like this, it is pz and also qz, where both pz and qz are polynomials. So please write down these. When both are polynomials, then we call it a rational algebraic function, and this is also called a rational transformation. This is called a what kind of transformation? A rational transformation. And the special case, when if w is equal to az plus b, that means where this pz is of this type, and similarly qz is also of this type, cz plus b, and provided AD, sorry, this should be D. So AD minus BC is not equal to 0. That means they are not equal. AD is not equal to BC. Then we say that it's a bilinear or fractional linear transformation. So if this is this actually is a special case of rational transformation. So in a rational transformation, when pz is given by this form and qz is given by this denominator, and this AD minus BC is not equal to 0, we call it a bilinear or fractional linear transformation. Students, are you bored? This part I can't help it, it's going to be slightly boring until we move further doing numericals. So this, we are just learning at new terms associated with complex variables, so it's bound to be slightly boring. So bilinear or fractional linear transformation. So fortunately we are quite advancing quite at a good rate with our syllabus, and now you don't have to worry about when exam is going to happen and what will happen to our syllabus, because if you are attending our lectures, I'm sure you will be quite comfortable with your examination, because after finishing our syllabus we'll go to question papers also. Okay, this is rational. Then we have the exponentiation function. Exponentiation function, where W is equal to e to the power z, which I don't think I have to describe anything about it. So this is exponential function. Then I move forward to the next type, which is number 4, trigonometric function, which is also quite familiar to you. Trigonometric, okay. Trigonometric function, it is like this. It is like W is equal to sine z or cos z or tan z. So when we have functions of this type, we call they are trigonometric functions, which I'll not spend much time. Then we also have the hyperbolic functions. Hyperbolic functions, where this is equal to sine hyperbolic z cos hyperbolic z, which we call as cosh h, then tan hyperbolic z. When this W is equal to any of these, we call hyperbolic function. And obviously this has got a relation with exponentiation also, because look at this one. When it's like this, I also know that what is sine z? Sine z is e to the power I z minus e to the power minus I z divided by twice I. We know this. And what about this one? This is what is cos z? It is e to the power I z plus e to the power I z divided by 2, and so on. From these two we can also find the value of tan z. Now what about this? Here we know that what is sine hyperbolic, we don't have the I part. It's just e to the power z minus e to the power minus z by 2. So this is sine hyperbolic, and when I have a plus sign in here, this is cos hyperbolic. So these are things that you already know. And we then have logarithmic functions. Logarithmic functions are just W is equal to ln z. This type of functions are called logarithmic functions. And so one thing that we must remember, that we know that here z is equal to r e to the power I theta, and we very well know that this is exponentiation is a periodic function, so this is e to the power I twice pi plus theta. So it's time we remember all these things which we already had learned somewhere. Then we have the inverse trigonometric functions. Inverse trigonometric functions, which are of the type W is equal to sine inverse z, cos inverse z, tan inverse z, sec inverse z, and so on. So these are the inverse trigonometric function, and then we have the inverse trigonometric, inverse hyperbolic functions. Where W is equal to sine inverse of sine hyperbolic inverse of z, and similarly cos, tan, and so on. So then we are coming almost to the end of this elementary functions. We come to algebraic and transcendental functions. So what are algebraic and transcendental functions? Let us look at it. We have number 9 is algebraic and transcendental functions. See, if W is a solution of the following equation like this: P naught z. What is P naught z? It is obviously a polynomial. W to the power n plus P1 z W to the power n minus 1 plus, it goes like this, P n minus 1 z W plus P n z is equal to 0, where what are these P's? P1, P2, Pn and all these things? They are polynomials. They are polynomials in what? In Z. And what is n? N is a positive integer. Then if it's like this, then we say that what is W? W, a function of Z, you see what is W? W is this one, is it not? So it's this whole equation is in which variable? It's in W. So when I get W, it will obviously be a function of Z, and this will be of this type, is an algebraic function in Z, function of Z. So any function, now any function which cannot be expressed as a solution of suppose this is A, of A, is called a transcendental function, is a transcendental, sorry, I got the spelling wrong, transcendental function. So perhaps transcendental is slightly new to you, so this is a transcendental functions. What you can do is you can look up at what is a transcendental function. So I'll stop here with the different types of equations, different type of functions, and in this third part we'll learn something